Thank you so much. Thank you, Ron. And thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Xu Chen, customer engineer at Google. Today is my 4 years and 5 days in Google Cloud. Based in Charlotte, North Carolina, has been here since '98, so definitely local to probably lots of the customers here. So my talk track is enterprise readiness for Gen AI. It doesn't sound like a very exciting topic, but it is actually a very important topic. I know everybody wants to talk about models and training, but are you enterprise ready, right? So if you, I'm sure lots of you have been watching Olympic, not like last week, the week before, maybe have seen the ads about the Gemini. It is our industry leading and multimodal, born with multimodal, leading enhanced security model. And just yesterday, we introduced some new Pixel phones, and Gemini Nano is part of integrated with the phone, and which can understand text, images, audio, and speech. So really, we have been putting Gemini to work and putting it everywhere, right? In search, in Google Workspace, like document, Sheets, Google Sheets, and Google Slides, and in every aspect in cloud, right? The infrastructure, the database, the data analytics, and the BI tools. It's interesting we talk about like the security of Gen AI, but Gen AI also Gemini definitely play a big role in security operations as well. So kind of on both ways. And we definitely has been recognized as to have the best model, not just Gen AI, but in AI in general. We almost, I would say, always joking about we almost like fall off the chart here about our model. But for the past, I would say, 2 years for the Gen AI journey, we found out the customers like yourself, we're not just talking about who has the best foundation model, right? Like customers really asking about who has unified integrated platform. It is really about platform, not just the model itself. And also the differentiator is your data, right? How to incorporate your data to be in this competitive world. And finally, really, Gen AI enterprise ready. You're surprised to see how many customers actually start with Gen AI or AI project in general, but never see the light of day to production because all the regulations and compliance reasons. So we at Google here, we have a single unified platform, and we don't need to stitch like models together. And we believe really you need a platform approach to do AI or Gen AI correctly. And so we have this single platform for no matter it's predictive AI or generative AI. So in reality, as exciting as Gen AI is, at the end of the day, it's still AI. And while we like kind of explore this AI mansion, if you will, the base of this mansion, at the end of the day, is still data, right? So customer or enterprise quickly found out the AI strategy or the Gen AI strategy is really becoming a data strategy. So not only we have the best AI platform, we have the best data platform. And like I said before, we infused Gemini into all these platforms, no matter it's database, data analytics, like BigQueries you might be familiar with, and Vertex AI, which is our AI ML platform, and Looker for BI tools. We also have a single control plane for the data governance and the policies. So diving into a little bit about Vertex AI itself, I don't know if you have used it before, but it is our end-to-end AI tool. So as powerful as model for generative AI, the software itself, the infrastructure, and the toolings really surrounding these models are equally important. Like infrastructure, for example, I could be biased, but I believe we have the best infrastructure from security perspective, from the performance of network. And we also have silicons, right? We have our tensor processing unit that can do all the model training. And so I'm looking at this kind of like a four-layer cake. Oh, I always call it four-layer cake. Four-layer of Vertex AI, if you will. The bottom is we have model garden. Model garden is like a collective or collection of all the models, both Google's first-party model and also like third-party models. Like for example, Llama from Meta and like 130 models out there. Believe it or not, we actually support OpenAI as well. So like the reason you want to use the model here with Model Garden in Vertex AI is they're absolutely enterprise ready. So you can do like one-click deployment, and there is a safety check that along with it. So you can take these models to production with confidence. Up the top layer is what we call the AI platform. So that is our end-to-end tooling to help you deploy the models and monitor the models. And so for different personas, right? So like data scientists might be here to to develop the models to productions and maintain them with the entire AI life cycles. And with the Vertex AI search and conversation, essentially, traditionally, if customers want to build like a Gen AI applications, they could take months to get a application ready. But with the search and conversation, really with a few button clicks, you can build your own search engine, like a Google grade search engine with your own enterprise data. And also along with a chatbot that can interact with customers and answer questions based on the search result that across the enterprise. And all these search and conversation, the important thing is they're grounded in the factuality of your enterprise data, along with Google search data. Sorry, just got distracted for a second. And for the business customer, we have CCAI, we have Document AI that are ready to deploy. So let's dive into more on the enterprise readiness side for Vertex AI. We really firmly believe that from day one, really day zero, enterprise user like you need enterprise-grade Gen AI solution. So the entire Gen AI really sits on this trust. So many customers come to Google and come to Google Cloud because this trust posture that listed here, right? The privacy, the data governance, compliance, and responsible AI. We are the first in the industry to publish AI ML privacy commitment. We really, I think in my mind, please the Legion, we have the highest level of security and control of your data stored in the cloud. And if you ever challenged on copyright grounds, I know some customers do, we will assume responsibility for the potential legal risk involved. And data residency is important. So you can have full control where your data is going to stored at risk. So sometimes I know some other competitors, you could have like a prompt in one region, say like the prompt in the EU region, and after processing, like the results can be in another region. So for customer have like strict compliance requirement, that won't be a good thing, right? So we will guarantee that your processing and your prompt are in the region of your choice. In this slide, I think it's like a green money slide. So regarding the data governance and security and privacy, you'll hear this again. In every conversation we have with customer is kind of three things. First, you maintain full control of your data, right? You're at the driver's seat of your data. You can share anything or share nothing with us. You own your data. And we also encrypt all your data by default. And the second thing is we don't provide any government entity backdoors access to your information. And from Gen AI perspective, by default will never train our models with your data. That's including both the input data, like the prompting data, and the output and the result. So we can kind of dive into a little bit how each stage is handled. So the data governance really start at the prompt design. So the prompt, the question you ask, is short-lived and can be totally kept private. So we don't store the prompt data. It's only in the cache, like during the API calls when we call the LLM model. After that, it's deleted. So that's very important. We don't use your prompt data for any training purpose. And second stage is typically called adapter layer. Ron just mentioned about like the fine tuning. So fine tuning phase is basically you have the foundation layer, you have the foundation model, but really you want to incorporate your enterprise data to customize that model. So that is basically adapting a layer came in. So you might be asking like how you're going to incorporate my data to fine tuning if my data stays private. So this is where the kind of secret sauce behind the scene is all that training, all that tuning you're doing, all that like reinforced learnings, or other customization you're doing, all stored in this adapt layer, which is totally separate from the foundation model. If you look at this kind of like the bottom square and the right square. So the right square, the square on the right is the foundation model, which is hosted in Google Cloud, and the adapt layer is in your project. So all that tuning job, all that fine tuning job is actually in your project and is your IP. And Google like really makes no claim of that data. So that's important piece that we don't get to see that data that you do your tuning job with your enterprise data. So the foundation model really get loaded in a frozen state, right? It's an API call. And so the bottom line is we don't use your data to improve our model, period. Doesn't matter is prompting data or like processing data, like adapter layer, and all the final response. So this is how you can customize a foundation model with your data, but protect your IP through the whole process. And of course, we have the leading industry leading security for compliance reasons, the audits and certification to help you. If you're a government company, your government agency or your state owned or financial, I'm sure you have all kind of compliance requirement. So we have all the certifications to help you out. And lastly, Google have been an AI first company over a decade. So in 2018, we're the first one to articulate AI principles. We have a belief what AI should do, and certain areas we're just not going to pursue. And more than just words, like on paper, we actually have a whole responsive AI team that does justice to put into practice. We also implement like safety filters, so you can sift like the bias and toxic promptings and like other harmful contents. And we'll equip you with like tools to help you navigate this whole responsible AI piece. And lastly, kind of related to responsible AI is what we call the invisible watermarking. It is basically identifier, it seems like ID to the integrated with image for like Gen AI or computer generated image. And it is embedded to pixel, so human eyes cannot see it, but you cannot modify, and it doesn't lower the quality of the image, and it's very hard to temper as well. So this is we're putting this in image, and future we'll be putting this in the video as well. So I'm going this fairly quickly. I want to leave a few minutes for any questions. But in summary, we are enterprise ready compliance platform that give you confidence to do your Gen AI in our platform. So that is the last slide. If I have any questions, feel free.